Root tree selection by Andean birds in the Peruvian dry forests.
Introductions. The Andean bird, Trimartus ornatus, is vulnerable to extinction in the Andes mountains of South America. The distribution of the species only understands the 3% from the Earth. Have been registered behaviors ranging as scratch, to bite, to pee, and rub the party, neck, shoulders with part of trash or other substrates. The important functional of rotation of trees following little bits. According to several, the root is related with the signaling chemistry and communication olfactory. The relief of stings of insects or elimination of ectoplasms. The rubbing of trees is typically masculine and picks the urines the mating in sacs in bears brown, where the females surpass the calves rubbing along it from the season of the males. In the big mammals, lawyers not territorial like the bears, the communication hinge of signaling chemistry. Kit serves as a mechanism effective for the transfer of information. The birds produce a network of trees routes that are visited repeatedly by different generations of bears. In this study, you want to study the comportament of friction of the Andean bear in dry forests, Peruvian tropical. In the habitable water, it is a scarce resource and distributed in an irregular manner. The wild beings predictably likes for the activity of the Andean birds included the rubbing of trees that have a mature from 1 to 3 meters wide, of course depending on the season of the year. To whether it is strained with the temperatures low of 10 degrees Celsius and maximals of 30 degrees Celsius, and annual average precipitation have approximately 175 millimeters. The area of study is characterized for strong slopes that descend streams and dry valleys. Methodology. Data collections. They registered rubbing trees, one stand and multiple charts along the traces connected to water walls between December and 2014 and January 2015. For each tree day registered by botanical professionals, distance to water hole, stem height, diameter of the shoots of the bushes in centimeters. This was the square root of each diameters from stand to quadrant, registering the same variables. This allows separation of characteristics between trees rabbits and trees without rabbits. Calculate the trees of the count of all the trees. Number 2. Statistical analysis. The rubbing trees, they find each other from the ponds. With random adjustments approach generates a cumulative frequency of the number by distance interval. The used regression logics conditional separately in three models: as explanatory variables, and with the IT. Number 3. The Andean bear selects trees larger to root. They use regression logistics conditional to evaluate height dorsals, which differs in the rabbit trees, also in a null model to verify its rabbit independence of the tree growth. Way of growth with least degrees of freedom. Way of growth with less degrees of freedom. There was 1 to 5 or transects of Andean bear in age, whether with width and length maximum of transects of 2,000 meters, 117 with bear sink 94, 3 rabin and 23 with other bear brands. Brands were excluded of bite. The height of the friction was 0.8 and 0.99, and the height oscillates between 0.2 and 4 points on the floor. In this table, we can see the different species with its scientific name, its way of growth, number total of trees per species, and we can see that the Andean bear, they avoided species of Palo Santo for the rabbits with 95% confidence intervals, and bush with the species Chilco, Bacharis, sp, less rabbit by the species. They bears they merit to avoid the species of trees bigger, more common, and relatively less in the study area. The rab shrubbery of all size, thus often selected, they have physical characteristics unique in terms of size, diameter, of rugosity of the bark, what could help in persistence and detection of the smell. The concentrations of other marks of access of activity can be a strategy successful for reach many recipients individuals. They water walls they call by strategies for the marking of aromas in Andean bears. A decrease of the population of Andean bears is because of illegal hunting, direct consequence of the conflict between bears and humans. For example, cattle, crop, the mesh. Both the cattle and the bears they use water wheels. Thus, the areas near the wheels they could be prone to coral predation and conflict between humans and bears. The water walls they can also be key points for intraspecific communication through the markings of odors.